everyone. I just got finished reading another manga, and I actually liked it a lot more than most of the other ones. It's called Another Typical Fantasy Romance. Um, I absolutely adored it. And I started reading another one. Most of these are new ones that have just come out, so they don't have as many chapters. I just had popcorn. Probably a bad idea. Um, so this new one I started reading is called Today the Villainess Has Fun Again. I'm only on chapter 8, and I'm loving it right now. So me and my mom went shopping with what little money we had, the money shared from tips. We went and got some food, and we got two things of popcorn. The personal sized popcorn bag, popcorn. It's just like this little small bag for one person, and you only cook them for a minute and a half. And then the second one was skinny popcorn, skinny girl popcorn, skinny popcorn, whatever. Um, and it's lime and salt flavored. I thought it was going to be disgusting, and I tried it anyway just because I was really curious, and I don't like popcorn going to waste. And as I was cooking, as I was microwaving it, and it was popping, it smells like Fruit Loops. Like dead on fucking Fruit Loops. It smells so good. And when you eat it, you don't get much of the lime or salt taste. Um, the only thing that I don't like about it is that it leaves a lot of kernels left over. I don't know if you can see those. There we go. It leaves kernels left over. Um, the other one, just the regular butter and salt one, uh, doesn't leave as many kernels behind. Um, it just about pops all of them. You may have like at most five at the bottom of the bag. From what I've noticed so far, I've had 3 bags of it and 2 bags of the Skinny Girl. So, anyway, my mom thought that it was going to have this really citrusy taste to it, and ended up not being that bad. Also, I have been repeating 2 songs over and over for the last few days. Just completely obsessed with them. If I can find them. One of them is by Cloud. It's called Follow Me. And I'm completely obsessed with it because, oh my god, it's it's absolutely amazing when it starts playing. I always get the image of someone walking through a dark alley in a trench coat. I don't know why. Bloodstream by Neoni. I absolutely love that one too. But the other one that I've been really hung up on is called Dancing with the Devil by Alter. I believe that's how you say that. Alter. It's just amazing. Just amazing. But for some reason, I've been completely obsessed with Follow Me. I've been playing it over and over nonstop for the last few days now. I don't know if I'll keep doing YouTube videos. My hair looks really blue right now. Uh, the color's already fading. I took a shower and I can still see the dye just flowing out of my hair. For some reason, my hair doesn't like the semi permanent hair coloring. It does well with splat, but when I do just regular hair dye, I believe it was Varia that I did this time, and it's the bright black, I believe is what it's called. But it's more blue black than anything because, yeah, um, it always looks blue in my hair. Splat tends to stay in longer than this stuff does. Although I really like the look of this one, it just my hair is just like I don't like it. My hair is kind of a pain in the butt. My mom has been keeping me updated on the fact that our apartments are for sale, which I gotta say is really depressing because we don't know if we'll be able to continue living here or not. If we end up having to move, it's going to be a real pain in the butt. There's 4 apartments in one building, which each apartment is 2 bedrooms. So 8 bedrooms, 4 baths. But what's funny is that because our landlord is a slumlord, he has put no data for heating, cooling, parking. Now, on the thing, it does say that it is occupied, but apparently the landlord is selling it because he can't keep track of it or something. I'm not entirely sure what the deal is. Maybe he just got tired of everyone calling him and asking him to fix something. anytime anyone in the apartment asks him to come and repair something, to fix something that is under management, he raises the rent. At least that's what I've been told. I haven't actually seen anything of it myself. I'm just really hoping that whoever buys the place doesn't raise the rent because it's already bad enough as it is. My mom and my mom keeps saying that the rent's perfectly cheap where it's at right now, that you can't find another as well priced as this place. But I'm sorry, 700 and what did she say, 75 a month is not well priced, especially when you've just got a 2 bedroom and 1 bathroom. It's not that well priced. It's pretty damn expensive. Um, I had I had a 2 bedroom and 1 bath for five, what was it, 565? That's not bad. Um, and pretty much like these, the only difference between them was that we were on the second floor, so we had this little balcony that we could go out onto and smoke. They don't like people smoking in the building, so they put little smoker balconies out there, which is really cool. Uh, we didn't pay for water because apparently the apartments drew their water from somewhere else, but it included the water utility. All we had to pay for was internet and electricity and all that. I really liked that apartment. The only thing I didn't like about it was the really cold floors. Like, no matter what, those floors were freezing. You had to get a carpet to put down. Had to go and buy rugs or whatever. This way you wouldn't touch the tile floors. Just ugh. And it's like that here too, but we're in Florida, so the cool tiles are actually a kind of blessing right now. Although we're just starting our winter, so it's kind of a bit chilly. The windows have screens, although they're extremely stiff because no one ever keeps the windows open and closed, open and closed. Um, of course, AC and heating. We just had ours replaced because our unit was so old. But here's the downside to these apartments: the kitchens are outdated. The stoves are so, you can't use the dishwashers. Um, Ours doesn't work. We can't ask the landlord to replace it because, well, then we'll get the rent raised. Um, so can't use the dishwasher. The stove is one of those really old element stoves instead of one of the newer ones with the flat top where you don't have to fight to keep the element straight. So every time before we start cooking, we have to re-level the elements. The oven doesn't heat properly. It's either hotter than what you put it on or colder than what you put it on. Um, it tends to overcook everything. So when I get a pizza or something and it says like 16 to or it says 19 to 21 minutes, I usually do the 19. Um, I do check it earlier when it's been around 15 minutes just to be on the safe side. It's the same with cheese sticks, well, mozzarella sticks, and doing garlic bread or anything in the oven. Have to keep a real close eye on it because it could just burn it at any second or just not cook it at all. Like, it's so old. Not only that, these apartments are a fire hazard because our landlord will not clean out the vents. Um, the dryer does not catch lint. It catches like a very small amount, and the rest of it goes, we have no idea where. It's a fire hazard and it's getting bad. We have to at least dry our clothes 3 to 4 times for them to actually dry, and that's just a very small load. It's even worse if we have a towel in it. My mom comes home from work, she puts her pants, a towel, her shirt, socks, underwear, bra, normal things that she had to wear all day, comes home, puts them in the washer, throws them in the dryer. Now, usually, when I first moved in, that only had to be done twice. The drying cycle only had to be done twice, and it's on an hour each time. Well, recently, when she comes home and she goes, usually has something quick to eat and then goes straight to bed. Recently, when she gets off of fire watch and comes home and does that, I've had to dry them 3 to 4 times. It it's getting worse and worse. There are no lights in the washer and dryer room, so it's really hard to see. You have to use the hallway light to be able to see, or use your flashlight on your phone, which can be dangerous because you could drop it and it could either get soaked or get stuck in the dryer or break. Um, I wanted to get little string lights to put around in it, but there's no outlet in there. So I would have to drag in from the bathroom or somewhere else to do that. And the battery ones just don't last long enough. I don't even know what to do on these things anymore. There's not really much I can talk about. There's not really much that I can explain. It just seems to be the same no matter what. My brain still does this. talking thing. Uh, I could read a manga, read a book, and I can hear their voices even though they're not actually speaking. It's the same with the silent movies. It was the same then too. I can watch a silent movie and still hear voices. I can hear what they're saying, what they're talking about, the tone of voice they're using. I don't know why my brain does that. Name Probably because it's trying to fill in the blank. Uh, when I'm reading a book, it turns into a movie in my head. The best way to explain that would be if you've read the Twilight books. What is playing through my head when I'm reading those is not the Twilight movies. I don't know how many people actually like those Twilight movies, but I fucking hate them. Uh, Unfortunately, I did watch those first. I saw the movies first before I got the books. And because I liked the movies, my mom got me the books and I sat down and just started reading them and I could not put them down for the life of me. I got through 3 of them in one day and then the rest of them the next. And I liked the books so much better that I absolutely despised the movies for making Bella so useless. They put a lot of unnecessary crap in those movies instead of focusing on what would have made the movie really freaking cool. Bella is not by any means stupid in the book. Well, not as stupid in the book. Um, the way they did her transformation in the movie, I thought was really beautiful. The only thing I didn't like was that they didn't describe what she was going through like they did in the book. The pain that she was feeling, the that the morphine did absolutely nothing, but she knew if she moved a single inch to reassure anyone around her, she would end up screaming. And that would cause Edward a lot of pain. Um, and of course, her trying to keep it from everybody as to what she went through. They never put any of that in the movie. They didn't even put her ridiculous self control into the movie. Um, her connection with their family, with the Collins family, none of that was in the movie. Her connections with them, each one was different. Alice was like a best friend, while Rosalie was like an older sister who just wanted the best for her little sister, but not really the best at showing how she feels. Jasper was like a really trusted bodyguard type brother, while Emmett was the really uh, bodybuilder type brother who would take on any dare um, or any challenge. Or just every time I think of Emmett, it's challenge accepted. um, and then Carlisle was more her reaction with Esme and Carlisle was her interactions with them and all of that was she treated them as she would her own family. Now, in the books, I'm not saying Bella was a freaking genius, but her interactions between her and Edward, um, and her and everyone else was so much better than it was in the movies. In the movies, it just made her seem they made her seem really useless as a vampire. Her her super self control made Jasper feel less accomplished, I guess is the best way to put it, inadequate. Uh, that he was starting to feel really insecure. And everyone kept saying, oh, it's because she was prepared. She was prepared. And we told her what to expect. And because of the morphine, she didn't feel any pain and blah, blah, blah. No. Her super self control was not a gift. Her self control was her thinking process, much different to regular people. Not only that, they didn't do her meetings with Jay Jinx the way they did in the book. Uh, in the books, they made her dress up quite a bit. Not only that, they did the whole window thing, and to where they called her graceful, and her thinking that that word would never be used for her. They didn't put that part into the book either. Or her thought process when she was going after the human after turning into a vampire, when she smelled human blood on the mountain. They didn't put her thought process into the movie and how she was able to turn away so quickly, or Edward's amazement at how she was able to just turn away just because someone was chasing her. Uh, and then them going back home and him explaining to the family that she just turned away. Like he's bragging. And then in the book, they describe Jasper kind of getting really upset because he's still having a hard time turning away from human blood. It it was a difficult process for him. Not only that, through all of those books, you get to learn each of their stories. Rosalie's, Jasper's, Edmund's. Do you get to learn Edmund's? Carlisle, Esme, Jasper, Edmund, Rosalie, Alice. You get to hear all their stories that they're telling Bella, trying to connect with them. And Bella finally gets to talk to Rosalie, and Rosalie ends up telling her her story. And they kind of understand each other, but at the same time don't. She loves the fact that her and Edward that Edward finally has someone for him, but she's really upset because Bella will never know the joy of having a child and stuff like that, which was one dream Rosalie always wanted. So, of course, I understand where Rosalie was coming from. I also understand where Bella was coming from. Her unyielding love for Edward, even though he's stupider than all hell. I'm sorry, a man who runs away and puts himself into misery just because is stupid. Um, he could have easily just stayed with Bella and been like, this is what's going to happen. This is how this is going to go. Help me think of a solution. You know, two brains are better than one. Instead, he just sits there and causes a whole bunch of fucking problems, unnecessary problems, gets her involved with the Valtori because of his whining and complaining, and just a huge pain in the butt. I'm sorry, he caused more problems than he solved. In that sense, I liked Jacob a lot more just because anytime Bella actually needed someone there for her, he was there no matter what. Um, Now, he had no control over Bella, and he would let her do some really stupid shit just to make her happy or feel better. But I liked their relationship a lot more just because their relationship was more like a brother trying to figure out how to care for his sister, you know? The only thing I did not like was that they made Jacob imprint on her daughter. That I did not like at all. Um, I understand that it's not like a romance thing or anything like that. It's not like them having sex and stuff like that. But just the thought that that was anywhere on the table with a child, I did not like. They did not explain the imprinting very well in the movie. In the books, they described it very well. And if you've read the books, you know there's a lot of things that they left out. Um, they left out the campfire scene of storytelling. Um, Bella's transformation, Bella's jump out the window, her hunt, uh, her thought process on everything, all the things that she went through to protect her family in case things turned out the way they did. Uh, and the biggest fail that they did throughout all those movies was Bella's gift. They failed the most at that in the movies. Uh, and the ending of the movie was crap. If you've read the book, you know Bella's gift is just extraordinary. And why they didn't want her gift to go that far in the movie makes absolutely no sense to me. Um, in fact, it really pissed me off that they really just kind of skipped over the whole training with her gift. Um, it just it really ticked me off that they didn't go into that enough because all the work that Bella was put through into the book in the book with training her gift, how to use her gift, uh, what she felt using her gift, how it felt like a rubber band and stuff like that, how she could sense who she was covering in her shield, and how the dogs, the werewolves, didn't count or didn't show up in her thing because she had just the pack, the alphas covered, and that covered all the rest of them because of their connected minds. Um, or the fact that the twins couldn't do anything against her gift; they were useless. Um, I can't remember her name. I can't remember their names. Dakota Fanning's character and her brother. Um, their gifts were completely useless. Uh, the fact that uh, the Valtori practically made a fool of themselves in front of the wives and all this other stuff, they left a lot of stuff out in the movie, which really ticked me off because you have to think on how hard did Stephanie Meyer work in order to describe what these sensations felt like, what the training was like, what they're experiencing facing this ultimate power, um, just to get that swept under the rug and played off as just trash in the movie. I liked who they had play the characters in the movie. Don't get me wrong, especially Emmett and Alice and Jasper, Carlisle, Esme, everyone else except, like, no, just everyone. I liked every character, every actor that they had playing these characters. I know they don't look exactly right like they did in the books. Um, I know there's a very big difference, but the way the actors pulled off their characters was very beautifully done. They just skimped on a lot of parts. In the movies, Jasper and Alice couldn't see Bella, or Alice could, but Jasper could use his gift on her to stabilize her mood. Um, in the books, it was completely different. In the books, Alice could see Bella, but not entirely. Um, her gift on in the book was mainly based on decisions. if someone made a decision. So if Bella had made a decision when she was escaping from them to go and rescue her mom, who supposedly was kidnapped by James, if she had made the decision, Alice would have seen it. But because of Bella's gift and the fact that Bella knew how their gifts worked, she was able to escape fairly easily, um, and go do what she was going to do. Not only that, but they left a lot of things out. Alice dressing Bella up, and Rosalie's connection with Renesmee, and her mom, her dad. Her dad finding out was one of the funniest. Is just one of the funniest things ever. They did a bit of that in the movies, but um, I don't recall them. I don't remember if they did that in the book or not. Anyway, if I ever get the replacements for the books that I have lost, the Twilight books, I will read them, um, because I absolutely love them, and I know there's a lot of people out there who have not read them. Uh, and some people may like the movie better. I just don't like how dumb Bella was in the movies. She wasn't that dumb in the books. Uh, so, yeah, I really want to be able to share that if I ever get the chance. It is December 2nd. Christmas is fast approaching. The only thing that really ticks me off about Christmas approaching is that no one pays much attention to the holidays that come before it. Thanksgiving, people already before Thanksgiving, weeks before Thanksgiving, people were putting out Christmas decorations and stuff like that. And all I kept thinking was, we haven't even touched turkey yet. We're still weeks away from that. And yet everyone's got all these freaking Christmas presents out and Christmas decorations. It's just, I wasn't expecting anything this year. I wasn't expecting any presents. I wasn't expecting to literally be with anybody. And yet I've been wrapping presents nonstop. Most of them are repurposed, uh, things that my mom's not using and she knows I'll use, or things that I'm not using and I know she'll use. Uh, but there are a few new ones. There was this phone thing that's supposed to go onto the back of your phone so you can hold it. Um, I don't really need it, but I wanted one because the design on it was just amazing. It was a really stunning piece. And it wasn't supposed to be a Christmas gift, but I'm treating it like one because, well, I wanted to. And I put it with this really cool PlayStation hoodie that I found at Walmart that I was just like, yes. I was like, I need that in my life. So I got that. There's also this uh, cologne set that I have a slight obsession with. that my mother got that I still need to wrap. Um, I keep forgetting. And then when I do remember, I can't find everything I need for it to wrap it, which is just, it's like just gather everything, then wrap it. Like, but my brain keeps doing everything else instead. It is driving me insane. Uh, I should have put this blanket. It looks orange on the camera, but it's really pretty red actually. Um, I shouldn't have opened it when I got it. I should have wrapped it up as a present as well. But it is the warmest blanket ever. Um, Instead of using a comforter, I don't even need it. I put the comforters off to the side as a barrier now and just use this even in the middle of the freezing cold because it is so freaking warm. Like, I don't know how such a blanket can be that warm. It feels more like a quilted type blanket, but it's not really thick. So it's just even more stunning as to how warm it is. I like my room to be freezing. Like, I mean, fucking freezing to where there's a possibility it will just spontaneously snow in my room. I like it that cold. When I'm going to sleep, I have to have my fans on. I have to blow in my face. I have to have the sound. I need the air on my face. Um, and I always have a leg sticking out. And sometimes I would use a comforter and it was too hot, or I'd use a smaller blanket like this one, too cold. A blanket like this one, too cold. This one, perfect. And I would add layers to the colder blankets. So I'd put this one and the Akatsuki blanket on as layers, and then I would add this one as an extra layer. And then it would get too hot, so I'd take one layer off, and then it's still too hot, I'd take another layer off, then it's too cold, and I'd add layers again, and it's just a bunch of tossing and turning. This one, on the other hand, I have no issues with. Every now and then I'll get like this little weird cold chill because my hands just start freezing out of nowhere. Even if they're completely warm, it just feels like they're freezing for some reason. And I'll throw the Akatsuki blanket on it, on top of it, and it's perfect. Like, freaking perfect. And it's just like, that's amazing. How is it that perfect? No one knows. My phone just finished updating. You can do it. It's been a while since it's told me to update my phone. I had to clear a lot of things on it because storage. I'm almost half tempted to have my mom take up my mom on her offer of getting me a new phone. I'm still hungry. So I may end up going back outside to smoke and then find something to eat. I may just make more popcorn. I'm not entirely sure. I really wish I could make money. Being terrified of everything sucks. And trying to fight that fear to move past it sucks even more. It's it's a work in progress. I've started to get to the point to where I find one specific thing that I like about myself and I focus on that for a while. Um, and slowly pushing myself forward, like, okay, I'm going to go and do this by myself, no one's help. And then I'm going to go and do this by myself, do this by myself, do this by myself, just carrying one step at a time. And yet everyone around me seems to be brushing 300 miles an hour, and it gets overwhelming, and I start freaking out and feeling really insecure and really unaccomplished with what I am accomplishing, instead of just looking at how far I've gotten on my own. And it feels like everyone around me is rushing me when I'm just trying to take my time to do something. I have been wanting to do a YouTube channel, God, since years ago, since like 10 years ago. Um, 15 years? Yeah, 15 years. I've been wanting to do a YouTube channel, and just, it didn't, it, it didn't, I never could do it because I was terrified of people seeing my face. My entire family, aside from my mother and my sister, made me believe that I was completely hideous. It took a very, very long time and three boyfriends, two extremely terrible boyfriends and one good one, to finally help me get over that. Um, to the point where I was like, I don't deserve that kind of treatment. I'm leaving. I'm still having backlashes of bad relationships and still trying to get past that. Uh, but right now, the only thing that is getting me through every day and trying to move forward and not feel inadequate, that it's right now for me, that is being on here talking to absolutely nobody or reading manga. It right now is the only thing that's helping. Or watching Markiplier play games or Jacksepticeye. Uh, Or if I get really bored, I go to Neebs and Neebs Gaming and watching them play Subnautica or Ark or anything like that. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I hope you guys have a beautiful morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of the day it is for you, and I will see you again soon.